My name is Mike Foster, the Entrepreneur's Mentor, and welcome to my latest snippet. My snippets are my thoughts to help you start, develop, and grow your business. And the theme for today's snippet is common pitfalls and barriers to growth. And I'm going to share with you some results from research that highlights the common reasons why people face pitfalls in their business and why they struggle with barriers to grow and develop their business. Now, the reason why I've shared my snippet today with some slides is so that you can see a number of bullet points. And I'm not going to cover every single one. I'm going to basically pick out a couple of these, but at least you can see the list that the research sort of fed back. Now, I'm going to pick number one on the list. It's very relevant in terms of the circumstances we find ourselves in at the moment. But have you got enough capital? Have you got enough cash flow to work you through the next 3 weeks or maybe the next 3 months? And if not, then what do you need to do? Do you need to look at government support schemes? Do you need to look at other ways of raising some finance or capital or cash flow for your business? Other areas I'd like to just mention is around communication, making sure that you are communicating with all your stakeholders, whether that's staff, customers, suppliers, etc. Any relationship, the good or the bad, is related to communication. So making sure you are communicating effectively. Another one that comes back to cash flow is around the credit control. And you would have seen a snippet previously that I mentioned about credit control, but make sure that ultimately, if you've done the work, you've completed the work, you've invoiced, and now the invoice is due, you should be paid that. But often it's down to our own credit control why we don't collect the cash when it's due to ourselves. So make sure that in advance of the invoice being due, you've checked they've received the invoice, it's been authorised and ready for payment. So therefore, when it gets to the time when it's due, it's then just a case of pushing it through their own cash flow. And remember, you shouldn't be the bank of your customers. A couple of areas to reflect upon is your pricing. Thinking about your pricing can be a common pitfall where people are priced too low. They try to buy into the market, but therefore the prices don't give them enough profitability to cover the rest of the costs in their business, or it restricts what you're able to do in the business, particularly if your business is governed by the number of hours that you're able to work or your team are able to work. I'd also encourage you to think about the number of customers you have and making sure that you're not over-reliant on a few customers, particularly during difficult times. If you lose one or two, what impact does it make on your business? And then the last point I'm going to pick from here is really around market research. And the relationship that I'd add to that is when I work with my clients on the business model canvas, I ensure that they do good market research with their customer base to make sure that if their customers are open and honest with them, they're receiving the feedback that helps them shape their real value proposition, their unique selling point, not just what the business owners perceive to be their differentiator. So they're just some of the common pitfalls that you may face whilst running your business. If we then look at what's likely to be the barriers to your growth, so whilst you're working on your business at the moment, then you may consider some of these barriers and how you can address some of these barriers and stop them effectively from being a barrier for your own growth. So again, you can see a couple of areas talking around the cash and the finance. So have you modeled out your business cash flow requirements and established what you're going to need in terms of supporting your growth plans? Then we've got some areas around people. So is it the aspect of finding the right people? Is it around the leadership and management of those people? But one of the big ones I find in terms of the barrier to growth is the lack of ability of the owners to let go. So they might not want to step back. They find it difficult to delegate. So what have you done to try and make the business more independent of yourself? And that may be around processes, systemized processes, so that actually you put all your thoughts and ideas and the ways that you want to work into your systems and processes. And therefore, when you bring people on, it's not about managing the people so much, it's about managing the adherence to those systems and processes. So again, quite a list there of some of the barriers that you may face when you're looking to grow your business. But ultimately, it links to the top one, which is about the lack of strategy. Have you really got a strategy about how you're going to develop and grow your business effectively? But ultimately, there are three things that stop the majority of us from taking action and growing our business. And those three things are time, lack of a system, and attitude and motivation. Now, I've just touched upon systemization, and many of my snippets before have talked about time management, how we use our time. We've all got the same amount of time, but are we using our time as effectively as possible? And are we focusing on those high payoff activities, those activities we have to do without distraction? The third area, and again, very relevant for our current climate, is attitude and motivation. Are you in control of your attitude and motivation, or are you allowing too many things externally to impact on your thoughts and the way you behave on a day-by-day basis? You can only control the things that you can control. So don't get impacted around those things that are outside of your control, outside of your ability to influence. Keep a positive mindset, keep a positive attitude, stay motivated, and look at the ways that you can avoid the barriers to growth and avoid those pitfalls. So I hope this video snippet has been useful to you. Please do follow my YouTube channel and you'll get advised as and when a new snippet is launched. And I look forward to speaking to you again soon.